Is college still worth it? Or is trade school smarter? Some people spend over $100,000 chasing a college degree. Others go to trade school, learn a skill, start working faster, and make money while their friends are still writing essays, taking exams, and worrying about student loans. So the question is simple: who made the smarter choice? The person who chose college or the person who chose trade school? And if you were 18 again, standing at the edge of your future, what would you choose? A degree or a skill that can pay the bills? This debate hits hard in America because it is not just about education. It is about money. It is about debt. It is about status. It is about parents telling their kids, go to college so you can have a better life. But it is also about young adults looking at the price tag and asking, better life or financial trap? Because for a long time, college was sold as the golden ticket. You graduate high school, you go to college, you get a degree, you land a good job, you buy a house, you start a family. You live the American dream. But today, that story feels different. College is still powerful, but it is also expensive. One 2026 estimate puts the average annual cost of college in the United States at around $38,270 per student, when tuition, supplies, and living expenses are included. Student loan debt in the US is also reported to be around $1.833 trillion. That means for many students, college is no longer just an education decision. It is a debt decision. And that is where trade school enters the conversation. Trade school says you do not need 4 years to start earning. You do not need a fancy campus. You do not need to take classes that have nothing to do with your job. You can learn plumbing, electrical work, welding, HVAC, automotive repair, construction, healthcare support, and other hands on skills. In many cases, trade programs are shorter and cheaper than a 4 year college degree. Some 2026 estimates place many trade school programs in the range of $5,000 to $30,000 total, depending on the program and location. That is why many Americans are asking, is college still worth it? Or is trade school the smarter path? But here is the truth: the answer is not simple, because both sides have a point. Let us start with the argument for college. College is not useless. That is one of the biggest mistakes people make online. Some people say college is a scam, but that is too simple. College can still be one of the strongest paths to long term opportunity. If you want to become a doctor, lawyer, engineer, architect, professor, accountant, scientist, or certain types of corporate professional, college is not optional. You need the degree, you need the credential, you need the license, you need the network, you need the training. And even outside those fields, a degree can still open doors. Many companies still use a college degree as a filter. It may not always be fair, but it is real. Before they even read your full resume, they look for that degree. For some jobs, not having one means you do not even get past the first round. College can also give you time to grow. For an 18-year-old who does not know what they want yet, college can expose them to different fields, different people, different ideas, and different careers. You may enter thinking you want business. Then you discover data analytics. You may enter thinking you want psychology. Then you discover law. You may enter thinking you just want a job. Then you meet people who change how you see the world. That is one of the strongest sides of college. It is not only about the classes, it is also about the environment. You are surrounded by people trying to move forward. You meet professors, classmates, alumni, mentors, and future coworkers. Sometimes the biggest value of college is not the textbook. It is the room you get access to. There is also data showing that, on average, more education is connected with higher earnings and lower unemployment. The US Bureau of Labor Statistics has repeatedly shown that workers with more education tend to earn more and face lower unemployment compared with those with less formal education. So, yes, college still has value. But here is the problem: college is not equally valuable for everyone. A degree can be powerful, but a degree with massive debt, no plan, no marketable skill, and no clear career path can become a burden. This is where people get angry because many students were told, just go to college, but nobody asked, what major, what school, what cost, what job after graduation, what salary, what debt, what is the return on investment? That is the part people do not talk about enough. College is not automatically good. College is good when the cost makes sense, the degree has value, and the student has a plan. But if someone borrows a huge amount of money for a degree that does not lead to a strong income, that person may graduate with a diploma, but also with a chain around their ankle. They may be educated but financially trapped. They may have knowledge but no breathing room. They may have a dream, but the monthly payment comes first. And that is where trade school starts looking very smart. The argument for trade school is simple: less time, less debt, faster income, practical skills, real demand. While a college student may spend 4 years studying before entering the workforce, a trade school student may finish much faster and start earning earlier. That matters because money has a timeline. If one person spends 4 years paying for school, while another spends 1 or 2 years learning a trade and then starts earning, the trade school path may get a faster financial start. And in real life, that head start can change everything. You can pay bills earlier, you can help your family earlier, you can save earlier, you can build credit earlier, you can start a side business earlier, you can avoid massive debt earlier. A person who becomes an electrician, plumber, welder, mechanic, HVAC technician, dental hygienist, or other skilled worker may not have the social status of a university graduate, but they may have something very powerful: cash flow. And cash flow gives you options. Trade school also solves a real problem in America. Not everyone wants to sit in a classroom for 4 years. Not everyone learns best through lectures, essays, and exams. Some people are hands on. They understand machines. They understand tools. They understand systems. They can fix things other people cannot fix. And in a society where fewer people want to do physical skilled work, those skills can become very valuable. You cannot outsource a leaking pipe to another country. You cannot ask artificial intelligence to physically repair your air conditioner. You cannot download a new roof. Someone has to show up. Someone has to do the work. And the people who know how to do that work can get paid. That is why many people say trade school is underrated. For some students, it is not the backup plan, it is the better plan. But trade school also has trade offs. This is the part people on the other side often ignore. Trade jobs can be physically demanding. Your back, knees, hands, and body are part of the job. If you are working construction, plumbing, electrical, welding, or mechanical repair, you may earn well, but you may also be trading physical energy for money. That is not a small thing. Some people love that, some people do not. Some people can do it for 30 years. Some people burn out. There can also be income ceilings, depending on the trade, location, union access, licensing, and whether you eventually become a business owner. A trade can pay very well, especially with experience, specialization, overtime, or ownership. But if you stay only as labor and never move into higher responsibility, your growth may be limited. That is why the smartest trade school path is often not just learn a trade and work forever. The smarter path is learn a trade, master the skill, understand the business, build a reputation, and eventually own the operation. That is where trade school can become extremely powerful. A plumber with a job is one thing. A plumber who owns a plumbing company is another. An electrician with a paycheck is one thing. An electrician who builds a team, gets contracts, and runs a business is another. A mechanic working in a shop is one thing. A mechanic who owns the shop is another. The skill gets you in. The business turns it into wealth. Now, let us talk about the emotional side of this debate because college versus trade school is not only about numbers, it is also about pride. A lot of parents still see college as proof that they raised their child well. For many families, especially immigrant families, working class families, and families who struggled financially, college is not just school. It is a symbol. It says, my child made it. My child has a future. My sacrifices were worth it. So when someone says, I am not going to college, I am going to trade school, some families hear it as failure, even when it is not. That is why this debate gets personal. Because one side says college gives you respect, options, and long term opportunity. The other side says respect does not pay rent, skills do. And both sides are reacting to real pain. College graduates are tired of being told their degree is useless. Trade workers are tired of being treated like they are less intelligent. Students with debt are tired of being told they made a bad choice. People without degrees are tired of being treated like they are not successful. This is why the argument explodes online, because everyone is defending their life. But maybe the real question is not college or trade school. Maybe the real question is which path gives you the best chance based on your situation. Because if money is not an issue, college can be a beautiful opportunity. If you can go to college without destroying your finances, it gives you time, exposure, credentials, networks, and long term possibilities. You can study, you can explore, you can meet people, you can build your mind, you can enter professions that require a degree. You can use college as a platform, not just a piece of paper. But if money is a serious issue, college can become dangerous. Not because education is bad, but because debt without a clear plan can damage your life. It can delay your freedom. It can delay your business. It can delay your family. It can delay your ability to take risks. And the sad part is, some people go to college hoping it will save them financially. But the cost makes their life even harder. That is the part we need to be honest about. If college puts you in a position where you are drowning before you even begin, maybe the smarter move is not to force it. Maybe the smarter move is to work first, earn first, stabilize first, build first, then decide later. Because education does not only happen inside the university, you can learn through work, you can learn through business, you can learn through online courses, you can learn through books, you can learn through mentors, you can learn by failing and trying again. But you need survival first. You need stability, you need income, you need room to breathe. Now, personally, here is my choice. I am not going to trade school. Not because I look down on trade school. Actually, I respect it. Trade school can be a smart path. For many people, it may even be the better path. But for me, my personal choice is this. If finance is not an issue, I would go to college. I would choose college because I value the environment, the learning, the network, and the long term opportunities that can come from it. If I can afford it without destroying my life financially, I would take that path. But if finance is a serious issue, I would not force college just to impress people. I would not bury myself in debt just to say I have a degree. Because if the money is not there and the plan is not clear, college might not improve my life. It might make my life a disaster. So, in that situation, I would find a job. I would earn. I would survive. I would slowly build my business. I would use work as my school. I would use business as my classroom. I would use real life as my training ground. And maybe later, when I am more stable, I can return to formal education if it still makes sense. Because the goal is not to look successful. The goal is to build a life that actually works. College can be worth it. Trade school can be smarter. Working first can also be the right move. The wrong choice is not college. The wrong choice is blindly taking a path because everyone pressured you into it. The wrong choice is borrowing money without understanding the consequence. The wrong choice is choosing status over survival. The wrong choice is thinking there is only one respectable path. Because success does not only wear a graduation gown. Sometimes success wears work boots. Sometimes it wears a uniform. Sometimes it wears a business owner's dress. Sometimes it starts with a minimum wage job. Sometimes it starts with a certificate. Sometimes it starts with a degree. And sometimes it starts with admitting, I cannot afford that path right now, so I will build another way. So let me ask you, if you had to choose today, what would you rather have? A college degree, a high paying trade skill, or a job that helps you build your own business slowly? And be honest, if college costs too much, is it still worth it? Or are we finally at a point where America needs to stop treating college as the only road to success?